Okay, I want to do something really rare here. I have someone holding my phone for me, so I'm not sure how the ending's going to go. It might take a little bit, but I'm going to actually do a book review. This is Koga Ryu Ninjutsu by Shihan Jeremy Schmidt. I've been corresponding with Jeremy for a couple of years now. He actually holds a green belt. Actually, I'm sorry, an orange belt in my system. And he'll be progressing on to green, then brown, then black himself. Among this, he's also trained in Bujinkan Budo Taijutsu under Sensei Richard Elizondo. He is also trained with Ashita Kim and Sensei Rodolfo Tarola of the Koga Tenru. He has also trained with Sensei Tarola's instructor, which would be Master Shinichiro Yanoki, I'm sorry. I actually received this book from Shihan Schmidt, and I've been looking through it. I decided to do a book review of this for the simple fact that this is a very, very good book, and I want to recommend this to others. As you can tell from the table of contents, provided that you can see them good enough, it starts off with a brief introduction, ninjutsu history, basic training, falls, rolls, posturing, striking, body evasion, the 5 element principles of combat, basic kumiuchi, which would be grappling and self-defense techniques, vital targets, weaponry, stealth and invisibility, as well as meditation. And there is a postscript on here dealing primarily with the very basics of ninjutsu and understanding that ninjutsu today isn't the same that it was traditionally hundreds of years ago. I realize, having worked with Anthony Cummings and such, that the take on modern ninjutsu is quite a bit that, well, no ninjutsu system was proven legitimate historically. I'm not going to argue that point. In fact, I actually agree with it. The thing about it that you have to understand is even the samurai schools of jujitsu and bujitsu and bugei, or warrior arts, that exist, that have ninjutsu in them from the feudal era of Japan, the true Koryu systems. Ninjutsu is an akunin. There's no documentation, no densho, no proof of it. Most of the material that we have on these current books, such as the Nimpoden, also known as the Shamiki, the amount of scrolls that Anthony's revealed, basically they exist as pretty much a recording of certain things so that students have something to reformulate and base things off of if they need them. I apologize for all the traffic out here. And when you come into understanding that, you understand that ninjutsu is very much more than just punching and kicking, more than martial arts. It's actually revolved around the aspects of espionage, of intelligence gathering, of stealth, and evasion, things of that nature. And this is why I want to bring up this book right here by Shihan Jeremy Schmidt, because, again, one, I like this book. Two is that Shihan Schmidt is using a very vague term by simply calling it Koga, or Koga Ryu, because he's applying different elements from different styles into a generic Koga Ryu system. In fact, he even says this in the postscript, that ninjutsu is not a standard, but whatever works for everyone. It's designed that, and again, I'm going to have to quote him here, just at least read this brief passage. I hope you get something out of it besides all of the Nimpo ninjutsu differences. I hope one can explore and figure out what works best for them. Remember, ninjutsu is not a standard, but whatever works for everyone. So what it gets down to is the essential element that modern ninjutsu has been watered down, and martial arts have had been combined into it because now the traditional schools of the samurai no longer exist to teach those martial arts to have ninjutsu added to them. But the elements of ninjutsu which are maintained, which even as far as the historical documents, they were put there so that if those methods were ever needed to be drawn up on again, others could draw on them and bring them in. During what they refer to as the golden era of ninjutsu, there's not very many documents coming from that period. They all came after that, after the shogunate era, during the decline of the shogunate era, and this was because of the decline in the use and practice of ninjutsu as an art. So, in understanding that no one has a ninjutsu lineage, and even the schools who do contain ninjutsu in their systems that can be proven do not actually have a proven documentation that ninjutsu exists. It's simply an oral tradition kept secret.